Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he hopes to announce the release of all hostages from Gaza in the next few days. His comments come as the US and Israeli delegations head to Cairo for indirect negotiations with Hamas. The talks on Sunday are taking place after Hamas agreed to parts of Donald Trump's ceasefire proposal. Let's listen in to what Netanyahu had to say.
We are on the brink of a huge success. It is not finalized yet. We are working tirelessly on that, and I hope that in the coming days, even during the festival of Sukkot, I would be able to inform you about the release of our hostages, those alive and the deceased, in one round, as the IDF remains deep in the Gaza Strip.
Now, Hamas have also said they're ready to hand over Gaza's administration, but the exact details of that and other elements of President Trump's peace proposal need further negotiation. Despite the upcoming talks, Israeli strikes on the Strip have continued, killing at least 66 Palestinians in the past 24 hours. Nevertheless, many Palestinians and Israelis are hopeful the initiative means the end of the war in Gaza may now be in sight.
Udi Goren says he's grateful to U.S. President Donald Trump for putting forward a peace plan for Gaza, and he hopes Hamas will honor its promise to release all the remaining hostages.
Everybody that is involved must come behind this and make sure that this is the end of this catastrophe. There will be no better ending.
Goren's cousin Tal was killed when Hamas carried out its attacks 2 years ago. His body is still being held in Gaza.
We must make sure that this deal comes through this time all the way till the end, until my cousin Tal is back home.
Efrat Machikawa is a member of the Hostage Families Forum in Israel.
Hardly slept all night. The WhatsApp groups were roaring, and we're very hopeful.
Earlier this year, her 80-year-old uncle was released after 15 months of captivity in Gaza.
I think that President Trump knows what he's doing. I think that the moderate Arab countries know what they got into, and I really hope no one will sabotage this chance. We have to end it.
A few kilometers away in Gaza, Palestinians are praying for the same. But there are fears the plan may yet be derailed. Hamas says it's ready to release all remaining hostages and hand over the administration of the Gaza Strip. But it also says it still wants to negotiate a number of other details in the proposed plan.
When they said but, there was fear about whether Hamas would agree or not. So God willing, we hope that doesn't happen, that they don't say something that ruins the truce and doesn't stop the war. We hope Hamas stays on the right path.
I believe this time there will be a ceasefire, because people are exhausted, and the darkest moments of the night are always just before dawn. Our hope in God is great. But as for people, whether it's Hamas, Trump, or Israel, our hope in them is nothing. Our hope is only in God.
Palestinians and Israelis are hoping the upcoming indirect talks between Hamas and Israel in Egypt will finally move the peace process forward.
Dr. Sina Azodi is the Program Director of Middle East Studies at the Elliott School of International Affairs at George Washington University. Joins us from Washington, D.C. Good to see you. Sina, there seems a lot of momentum to this process to this point. Trump wants it badly. Hamas and Israel are making the right types of noises. What could be the stumbling blocks, though, as you see it?
I'm also positive that this is going to end the carnage, the Palestinians who are being killed, the hostages that are captive, and I hope they're all released and the war ends. I think the major issue is that while Hamas has agreed to disarm, the fate of the organization hasn't been determined yet. There will be negotiations, indirect negotiations on Monday in Egypt. The Turks are also mediating, the Turkey meaning they're in talks with Hamas indirectly. But what will happen in the future to Hamas is something that hasn't been determined yet. Will they get, some sort of immunity to leave Gaza and live someplace else? I don't know. Again, this is something that has to be determined, but it seems that all sides agree on the releases of hostages. And as it was in your reporting, the Israelis have shifted their posture from offensive operations to defensive operations, which, again, I think is a positive development.
Just zeroing in on that element of Hamas and the requirement for them to disarm, Sina, do you see that happening?
I believe so. They don't have many options. I think that they are exhausted. They've been under a lot of pressure, both militarily and politically, from people that are even willing to talk to Hamas. I think everybody agrees that Hamas needs to disarm. Israelis have made it very clear that they will not tolerate an armed group remaining in Gaza. I think so. It's really the issue of the future of the organization and the members that have been left. I hope that there is, I don't have any information, but I hope that they will be given some sort of immunity, a rite of passage to some place that they can leave Gaza, and there will be peace.
You mentioned it as well in Trump's proposal. Israel is not allowed to reoccupy the Gaza Strip. Trump has just posted, after negotiations, Israel has agreed to initial withdrawal line, which we have to shown to and shared with Hamas. Does that mean, by your understanding, that the US is essentially the guarantor for this deal? For example, guaranteeing that Israel will withdraw to that line in the Strip or totally from the Strip?
I believe so. And based on from what I've seen from President Trump and what I've read, the reports that I've seen, the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu is under a lot of pressure from Trump, which I think in the history of Israeli-US relations is very rare that a US president would be able to exert so much pressure on the Prime Minister of Israel, which again, in this case, I think it's a very good thing and I don't think any other president could have done it. But I think that the US will eventually be able to pressure the Israelis to accept it. And as you said, I agree that the US will be the guarantor of this peace. And I think it's, it's not that President Trump has that much strategic vision. I think he does it for his own political reasons, that finally he can claim that he ended the war and he now has earned the Nobel Peace Prize. So I think his personal ambitions are also playing a role.
Egypt is due to hold a so-called inner Palestinian dialogue aimed at achieving a wider consensus on who should govern the Strip post-Hamas, if you like. Do we know who the candidates are for that crucial role?
No, but what I can tell you is that if there are no Palestinians that are eventually going to rule the Gaza Strip, and they're not given a better political future than Hamas, I think that ultimately, not maybe in the short term, but in the long term, we will see again the outbreak of violence in the region because the root cause of the problem will not be resolved. So I hope that some moderate Palestinian group, some moderate Palestinian figure will be ultimately be able to govern Gaza, and Palestinians, like the Israelis, can have a state of their own and live in peace and prosperity next to their neighbors.
Sina, it's been great to have you on. We'll leave it there. Middle East analyst Dr. Sina Azodi, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.